I am here with my dear friend Buzz the Bee from Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. You are going to want to keep a close eye on the weather today, am I right? And let me tell you, it's time now for your local weather report, brought to you by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Let's buzz on over to the Main Street Media TV Weather Center.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Happy Friday, I'm Kelly Rawson in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. If you like the weather over the last few days, today is no different. Expect a little bit of a chill in the air for the morning, but then this afternoon, expect temperatures to warm up nicely into the upper 70s with plenty of sunshine. No rain chance for today or for the rest of the weekend. Your Friday night will get down to the mid to upper or lower 50s, I should say. And then for tomorrow, expect temperatures a little bit warmer than this afternoon. Lower 80s expected Saturday and Sunday with a partly cloudy sky. We stay dry for the weekend. Maybe a stray shower on Monday as a frontal system moves through. But the big thing with that system will be us cooling off from the 80s to the 70s and then with highs in the low to mid 60s for next week.
Thank you for that update. Tune in each day on Mornings on Main Street for an up-to-date weather report brought to you by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. All of their contact information is below. Have a great day.
Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning. Hi, kids. Hot tea, please.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks so much for joining us. We always love having you here at Mornings on Main Street. I'm excited about today because I get to share with you a program that we're revisiting. It is called Streetwise, and it is done with the Assistant Director of the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. I had the pleasure of sitting down with her, not just for one, but for 4 segments that focus on travel safety in Music City. So it's whether you're behind the wheel of a car or you're pedestrian trying to navigate the streets of downtown Nashville, we have important tips and things that you just need to be cautious of and keep in the back of your mind as you're visiting the beautiful downtown Nashville area. But first, let's get a check of our headlines.
Hello, here's the latest news and weather from Main Street Media TV. The 26th annual Main Street Festival, hosted by historic downtown Gallatin, saw large crowds enjoying food, shopping, and entertainment from both established and new vendors in near 90-degree heat. The Maury Alliance hosted a candidate forum for the Mount Pleasant City Commission where incumbents advocated for continued growth, while newcomers emphasized the importance of infrastructure and cautious expansion. Hendersonville police have charged 3 Michigan residents for fraudulent returns at a Target store using counterfeit Apple Watches in legitimate packaging. After the original owners faced legal issues, Wildflower Bake Shop in Clarksville has been taken over by 3 employees who have now become co-owners, maintaining the beloved bakery's reputation while adding new offerings. Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt tops Tennessee and shares first place in Southeast U.S. News and World Report rankings, also securing national recognition in 10 out of 11 pediatric specialties. For more news and weather, visit us online at mainstreetmediatn.com. Thanks for watching.
So Busy Bee is a very close-knit family. We fight just like every family does. We have arguments, but we always come out with a solution to the problems. We don't just fight about what we want, we fight about what customers need. We want to make sure that every customer we go to is more than satisfied. And that doesn't just start whenever we show up at their door, that starts when we show up every day at work. We want to make sure that we are serving our customers to the best of our ability.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 123-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit nashville.lionel.com or call 615-455-9399.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome to Streetwise for September. I have the pleasure of sitting next to Kim Van Atta. She is the Assistant Director with the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. It is so nice to be sitting here with you.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Because we're bringing some really important information for anyone and everyone traveling to downtown Nashville.
Yes.
Because you guys, what people see as far as when it comes to pedestrians and motorists downtown can look senseless sometimes. You're like, you're not following any rules of the road and or walkways, but Kim, you see that way more than I do. What do you see on a daily basis?
Actually, people don't use crosswalks at all. The law is not really, it's a little vague because you can cross if you're not impeding traffic, but that's subjective, it's not objective. And objective is to walk to the crosswalk. And then you cross the street legally the way you're supposed to. So I see that all of the time. So it's just a rampant thing that people are entitled and don't feel like they need to use it.
Well, and for those, some that may be watching, like, is it really that big of a deal? And I want to say, you're going to say, yes, it is a very big deal.
Yes, it is a huge deal.
Why? What could happen? Like, say if, we just continue on not using the crosswalk.
Well, speed is a big factor in crashes anyway.
Okay.
So everybody speeds, and we're downtown. We shouldn't be speeding anyway. But we have the distracted walking, we have distracted driving, and that can involve anything, whether you're just paying attention to music or on your phone or talking to someone or thinking about what you need to do when you get home. Mm-hmm. So you're distracted. And then you have pedestrians who have their headbuds in, their earbuds in. So they're not paying attention. They could be on the phone. And the thing is, we need to be paying attention to each other because both of us have the responsibility to not crash. And you think about pedestrian crashes, the pedestrian loses. It doesn't matter. They are against a 2-ton vehicle and they're 150 pounds. So they're gonna lose that fight. So we really need to pay attention.
Let's talk about sidewalks and walking on sidewalks. I know downtown right now, you do have some construction areas that,
Some construction.
Lots of construction, I guess, in every part of downtown Nashville. You do have sidewalks available, but how should we best maneuver through downtown?
They do put up temporary walking paths downtown with the construction, but we have to work around the construction workers too. They're at risk. Again, I mentioned speed. We need to slow down as motorists. We need to pay attention to what we're doing. And as a pedestrian, you may need to take a different route. Okay. So you don't want to be where you're exposed to traffic. So you just may need to take, which may take longer, but will also be safer.
Okay. So really, we all have to, it really comes down to 2 words. Pay attention.
Yes.
No matter what, whether you're walking or you're driving, pay attention.
Pay attention and be patient. You may need to wait until the car comes. Don't try to race the car. Just wait for them to go by. And then you go, even if you have the light, you need to pay attention to when you're crossing the street where the vehicles are. And in Nashville now we have scooters.
Yes.
So we're really excited about those because people are getting on those. And again, mentioning that I live downtown, I watch them and people walk down to Broad, which is where our honky tonks are. But then they're through for the night, they take a scooter back up to the hotel. I can't ride a scooter sober, so I don't know how they're riding these impaired. But so we have the scooters, sometimes they're riding on the road, sometimes they're on sidewalks, they never have on helmets. So that's a safety issue too. We have had 2 fatalities with scooters. Both of those were impaired riding the scooter. And scooters are considered pedestrians, so that's another battle that we're fighting.
Oh, that just, my heart aches for those lives that are lost when sometimes it could be avoided.
Right.
Speaking of scooters, we're going to continue to talk about scooters and then not walking around distracted downtown, as well as being cautious even in parking lots. You're like, oh, cars are parked. Well, you still need to watch. We're going to touch on those, and then we're going to hit on the fact football season. A lot more people traveling to our downtown Nashville area. We'll be right back.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back to Streetwise for September. Getting to talk with Kim. I absolutely love all the information that you're sharing with us. Looking at Nashville as a whole, downtown Nashville, you have, a congested area on Broadway. You have our honky tonks there. The Gulch has definitely now been built up. You have West End, Midtown area, all of these areas, East Nashville. We really have to be careful everywhere.
That's true. And Nashville has grown.
Oh my gosh.
The population is growing, and we're walking everywhere downtown. So we have to pay attention every single place. A problem we have also, though, are highways. So you have Murfreesboro Road, Dickerson Pike, and those have 5 lanes. So you're walking across 5 lanes of traffic. That takes a lot of time anyway, and the crosswalks are very far apart. And then there are bus stops. So the bus stops aren't near crosswalks. They're not going to walk to the crosswalk. So you have an individual crossing 5 lanes of traffic, no crosswalk. And if it's at night and you're wearing dark clothing, odds are much bigger that you're going to get hit. And again, I can go back to speed, because people don't drive the speed limit. I always like to push that.
Well, no, and that's a great thing to push. So what can we do as just those who live here in the Nashville area, those who call Tennessee home, because we have a lot of out-of-towners that come in to visit. How can we help keep everyone safe? How can we help you do what you do?
What we're trying to do is spread the word and educate. But like you said, there are tourists, which makes it even more of a responsibility for us as Tennesseans to pay attention, because they're not here. They don't know the laws, I'm sure. And then we don't have enough crosswalks. The engineering is a little behind. We have construction everywhere. So we really need to publicize what we're doing, and we need to be responsible for our actions so we don't hit them.
And we left off talking about scooters and riding the scooters either distracted or intoxicated. Can someone be cited if they're on a scooter for being impaired in any way?
Yes, but it would be considered public intoxication because they're not on a motor vehicle. They are technically a pedestrian.
Okay.
So, and these are relatively new, so it's a confusion with, you want them on the roads? Well, not really, because you don't want them next to cars. But do you want them on the sidewalks? Not really, because you have people walking down the sidewalks. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yes.
And we have issues with those. And you add impairment to it and distracted to it. And they're visitors to Nashville, so they're trying to look at all the sights. So you think about what you're doing on a scooter. And again, I can't ride it sober.
Same.
More power to them, but I can't do it.
And speaking of, you have walkers out there that are walking, but they're walking distracted. And I wish I had my phone as a prop, but I don't right now, because they don't know where they're going. And for a lot of people I know, even myself sometimes, just because Nashville's grown the way that it has, I'll use my GPS like, okay, where is this particular shop that I'm going to? What do we need to, I don't know, how do we navigate as we're just walking through downtown?
If you're trying to find a place, stop on the sidewalk and wait.
Okay.
Not near the crosswalk. Stop and say, okay, which direction do I need to go? And then you follow it without looking at your phone the whole time. Or if you have a partner with you, a buddy with you, then you can get them to help you get to the spot. So, and again, awareness all the time.
People watching may be like, okay, ladies, like we know this, but again, Kim lives downtown. You see that people just aren't paying attention. And so, it has to be touched on time and time again.
Right. And I mean, people are, for some reason, we can't focus on one thing as individuals. We're looking at every single thing. Crossing the road, no big deal. I'm a pedestrian. I have the right of way. Well, you may have the right of way, but you still could get hit. So you need to pay attention to cars and we'll talk downtown, pedal taverns and golf carts. And there are so many things. And then you have the ride share. So they're out as well. And again, mixed with the tourists, there's so many options that are going to get us hurt or a fatality could occur.
Mixed with construction too.
Yes,
Again, that just adds another element to that.
I think the governor said at one point that our state tree was a crane right now. So,
that's funny. It's also true.
It's true. Yes, it is true.
What about parking lots? How mindful should we be in just parking lots? Again, we have the parking garages. We have lots everywhere.
Yeah, but in the parking lots not very much parking downtown anyway, but you have the parking garages and they're circular, so you have to go up those parking garages. Cars are coming in and out of traffic and people want to race to get those good spots, so they're trying to get the spot instead of watching the pedestrian. Pedestrians are coming out and getting into their cars. There are so many things that we need to pay attention to, and as pedestrians, we are the ones who are most at risk. We're vulnerable road users. Motorists are not vulnerable road users. They're covered, they're encapsulated by many material that are going to save them, help them. Well, we're not as pedestrians.
What is your office doing right now to continue to get this message out?
We award grants. So we have grants with educational entities, and they go and educate where they are, and it's in the big cities, Memphis, Knoxville, Nashville, Chattanooga. And then we have enforcement. So we've added enforcement to it, so the officers in uniform are going around and talking to these people. We've added crosswalk talk, which we're going to the areas where there are problems, watching the people if they don't cross at the crosswalk and just talking to them. Why didn't you use the crosswalk then? How much do you not use the crosswalk? Not attacking them, but just asking. Is there a reason? So we've added that. And then for media, we're adding that at all of our events because we do a lot of sports marketing. So in the media, on the Jumbotron, you're going to see walk safely, don't walk impaired, because we have that as an issue too. People are walking impaired. So every time we try to correct something, something else happens. So we're going to keep pounding that message until we get that message out and people start listening to it.
And for those watching, don't feel attacked. It just really is a question of why aren't you using something that's set up to keep you safe?
Right,
What do you normally
and that's
hear
what
from
we're
people?
doing for the crosswalk. Well, it can be difficult because there is a uniformed officer with us doing the crosswalk.
Okay.
So we ask them a question. Oh yeah, I use the crosswalk all the time, and you just went across
No,
the
you
street.
didn't.
I appreciate the fact you're saying that, but don't say it just because he's standing here.
Right.
You didn't. We're just asking.
Yeah, just trying to
If
keep
we
you safe.
need more crosswalks, what do we need to help you?
So what are people saying? What do we need? Does your just typical citizen out there, what do they think that we need?
They do think we need more crosswalks
Okay.
closer together, and the bus stops were mentioned because those bus stops aren't near crosswalks. And then, believe it or not, I had 3 say, I'm just lazy and I don't want to walk down to that, so I'm just going to watch. And make
Appreciate the honesty.
I appreciate the fact that you're lazy, but really in order to save your life, you need to walk down there.
I encourage you to share Streetwise with not only your family, but your friends, and be safe when you visit the Middle Tennessee, downtown Nashville area. As always, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here Monday morning.